Every 36 seconds, one person over the age of 60 is rushed to the ER for a fall, a stroke, or a sudden heart failure. But what if I told you many of these medical emergencies can be traced back to the same 7 everyday habits? Habits that don't feel dangerous. In fact, they may feel harmless or even comforting. But here's the chilling truth. These habits are silently eroding your body's defenses, weakening your heart, your brain, your bones, and even your most sacred relationships. And worst of all, most seniors don't even know they're doing it. So if you're over 60 or care about someone who is, then keep watching. Because habit number 7, it's the one nobody talks about. It's controversial. It's private. But it might be the biggest silent killer of intimacy and energy in older adults today. But first, we start with something deceptively simple. Number 1. Sitting too much, the silent destroyer of longevity. Let's talk about the couch, or that favorite recliner in front of the TV. Maybe it's your dining chair, where you sip coffee and do crossword puzzles. Now, let me be very clear. There's nothing wrong with relaxing. You've earned it. But the moment relaxation turns into routine, sedentary behavior, your body begins a quiet rebellion. Let's take George, a retired teacher from Ohio. After he turned 68, George noticed his legs getting weaker. He blamed it on just getting old. He didn't fall, not yet. But simple things like getting up from the couch started to feel like pushing a boulder uphill. Within 8 months, he needed a walker. So what happened? George had unknowingly fallen into the sitting disease. Chart decreasing according to the Mayo Clinic. Sitting more than 6 hours a day increases your risk of premature death by up to 40%. Your metabolism slows. Your circulation weakens. Your muscles begin to atrophy. Even if you're eating right and taking your vitamins, sitting too long can undo all your efforts. And here's where it gets scarier. Even 30 minutes of daily walking can't fully reverse the damage of chronic sitting, especially if you're sedentary the rest of the day. Now imagine the impact on your hips, your spine, your knees, your lungs, and most critically, your heart. A study from UCLA even found that seniors who sit the most experience a noticeable shrinkage in the memory centers of their brain. Yes, sitting too much can literally make your brain smaller. But don't worry, we're not asking you to run marathons. Small, strategic changes can create massive transformation. Repeat button, here's what you can do today to fight this habit. White heavy check mark, every 30 minutes, stand up and stretch. Set a timer on your phone. It's easy. Just 1 to 2 minutes of movement can restart your circulation. White heavy check mark, try sit to stands. This simple movement, standing up and sitting down repeatedly, activates your leg muscles and strengthens your balance system. White heavy check mark, switch from passive sitting to active sitting. Use a stability cushion or sit on an exercise ball when reading or watching TV. White heavy check mark, do 10 heel raises or mini marches during commercial breaks. It adds up. George began doing these micro activities. And guess what? He didn't need that walker anymore. In just 3 months, his strength returned. Not because of a gym, not because of medication, but because he broke the habit of sitting. And here's the key takeaway. It's not about eliminating comfort. It's about reclaiming control over the hours you're losing in that chair. The longer we sit, the shorter our lifeline becomes. But once you become aware, the power comes back to you. Number 2, a poor diet, the truth about processed foods. Now let's talk about the foods you've been eating every day. You may think that processed foods are a quick solution to hunger or a treat every now and then. But the truth is, they could be silently killing your brain cells, and worse yet, destroying your body from the inside. Let's take Nancy, a 72-year-old grandmother from Florida. Nancy used to love her daily bag of chips and store-bought frozen dinners. She'd tell herself, I deserve this after all these years of cooking for my family. But then she noticed her memory starting to slip. Her grandchildren noticed it too. She'd forget things like where she put her glasses. Sometimes, she couldn't remember if she'd already eaten lunch. But it wasn't just her memory. Nancy began to feel more sluggish, more fatigued, as though her energy was just draining away. Nancy's doctor diagnosed her with early signs of Alzheimer's. But here's what shocked everyone. Nancy's diet was a huge contributor. Foods high in processed sugars and unhealthy fats create inflammation in your brain. They trigger what's known as oxidative stress, a silent attack on your brain cells. One study from a National Institute of Aging showed that seniors who consumed more processed foods had a higher chance of cognitive decline. These foods include sugary snacks, refined carbs, and ready-to-eat microwave meals. You know the ones that are quick but packed with preservatives and artificial chemicals. What's even worse? Processed foods contribute to high cholesterol, insulin resistance, and weight gain, all of which can increase your risk of heart disease and diabetes, making your body work overtime just to keep things running. So what's the alternative? Repeat button small changes to revitalize your diet. Why'd heavy checkmark replace processed snacks with fruits and nuts? Fresh fruit, especially berries, are rich in antioxidants that protect your brain cells. Why'd heavy checkmark opt for lean proteins like chicken or fish instead of fatty meats? Omega-3 fatty acids in fish are known to boost brain health. Why'd heavy checkmark swap refined carbs like white bread for whole grains? Brown rice, quinoa, and oats will keep you fuller and provide steady energy. Why'd heavy checkmark make cooking a ritual again? Yes, it takes more time, but cooking your own meals ensures that you control the ingredients and eliminate hidden sugars and preservatives. Number 3, lack of socialization, the silent killer of your mental health. Here's the uncomfortable truth about loneliness. Loneliness in older adults isn't just an emotional feeling. It has physical consequences. Meet Harold, a retired mechanic in his late 60s. For years, Harold lived a busy life with his wife. They spent time together, worked in the garden, and had regular visits with friends. But after his wife passed away, Harold's life began to shrink. He isolated himself. He stopped attending social events. Slowly, he stopped even answering his phone. Over time, Harold's world became smaller, and it wasn't just his emotional state that was affected. Social isolation increases your risk of heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline. Harold noticed something else. He wasn't sleeping well. His blood pressure was on the rise. He didn't understand why, but the absence of social interactions had created a deep sense of loss. This loss triggered a rise in cortisol, your stress hormone, which negatively affects the immune system. A Harvard study found that social isolation is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's right, loneliness can be as deadly as smoking. It turns out that staying connected is critical for mental health, physical health, and emotional stability. When you engage socially, you lower your stress levels, keep your mind sharp, and strengthen your immune system. So what can you do about it? Repeat button breaking the isolation. Why'd heavy checkmark join a club or group? Whether the gardening group, book club, or exercise class, surrounding yourself with like-minded people can give you something to look forward to. Why'd heavy checkmark volunteer? Helping others is a powerful way to feel connected, useful, and engaged. Why'd heavy checkmark get digital? If mobility is a challenge, don't let that stop you. Video calls with friends and family can keep you feeling involved in their lives. These habits, diet and social isolation, are two of the most harmful behaviors you may not even realize are affecting you. You can reverse the impact today by simply making conscious decisions about what you eat and who you spend your time with. But stay with me because in the next part, we'll uncover the third deadly habit that's hidden in your bedroom, one you might not even realize you've developed. Trust me, it's going to shock you. Number 4, the sedentary lifestyle. Why sitting is slowly killing you. Now, let's talk about something most seniors are guilty of, sitting down too much. It's easy to fall into the habit of watching TV for hours, sitting at the dining table, or simply lying down for a nap in the afternoon. But did you know that being too sedentary is one of the most dangerous habits you can have after 65? Take Frank, a 75-year-old retiree from Ohio. He was proud of his cozy routine. He'd wake up, have his coffee, and then sit down and watch the morning news. He did this every single day, and it felt comfortable. After all, why not relax when you've earned it? But Frank started noticing that getting out of his chair took longer each day. He began experiencing aches in his knees and his lower back. Even simple tasks like walking to the kitchen or getting the mail felt exhausting. What Frank didn't realize was that sitting for extended periods is a major risk factor for heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. Research from the Mayo Clinic suggests that a sedentary lifestyle can cut your life expectancy short by years. Here's why. When you sit for too long, your body's ability to burn fat decreases. Your muscles weaken. Your metabolism slows down. And this causes your blood sugar levels to spike, which can increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. It doesn't stop there. Prolonged sitting can also increase your chances of developing blood clots, which is especially dangerous if you have heart disease or poor circulation. But don't worry, there's hope. You can reverse the damage from sitting, and I'll show you how in just a moment. Repeat button combat the sedentary lifestyle. White heavy checkmark stand up every 30 minutes. If you're watching TV or reading, set a timer. Every 30 minutes, stand, stretch, or walk around for a minute or two. White heavy checkmark take up walking. Even a 15-minute walk every day can drastically improve your health. Start small, then increase the time as your strength builds. White heavy checkmark try chair exercises. If walking is too difficult, seated exercises can keep you moving. A physical therapist can help guide you through the right movements. Number 5, poor sleep habits, the hidden danger to your body and mind. You may think that staying up late once in a while or sleeping through the night without rest is just a normal part of aging. But what if I told you that poor sleep habits are not only robbing you of energy, but could also be ruining your health? Let me tell you about Eleanor, a 68-year-old woman who's had trouble sleeping for years. Eleanor would often stay up late watching old movies, even though she knew she was exhausted. She told herself that she'd catch up on sleep tomorrow, but tomorrow never seemed to come. After months of disrupted sleep, Eleanor started feeling foggy and confused during the day. She had trouble concentrating, and worst of all, her memory started to slip. Her doctor diagnosed her with chronic insomnia, which was linked to cognitive decline. Did you know that lack of sleep accelerates the aging process and can cause severe health problems, such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and even strokes? Here's the scary part. Sleep deprivation can also weaken your immune system, making you more vulnerable to illness. A study from the Sleep Foundation revealed that seniors who consistently get less than 6 hours of sleep a night have a higher risk of developing chronic conditions. So, what's the solution to this hidden problem? Repeat button tips to improve your sleep. White heavy checkmark establish a bedtime routine. Going to bed at the same time each night helps train your body to sleep better. White heavy checkmark limits screen time before bed. The blue light from phones and TVs can interfere with your natural sleep cycle. Try reading a book instead or doing some gentle stretching. White heavy checkmark avoid caffeine in the afternoon. Caffeine can stay in your system for hours, so make sure to avoid it after 2 p.m. White heavy checkmark, make your bedroom a sanctuary. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. A good mattress and supportive pillows can make a huge difference in your sleep quality. These next two habits, living a sedentary lifestyle and poor sleep, are things many seniors overlook, thinking they're just part of getting older. But both can lead to serious health problems if you don't address them today. In the next part, we're diving into the 6th harmful habit, one that you might not even notice creeping into your routine. It's one that affects your relationships and your long-term happiness. Stay tuned, because the next habit might just change the way you think about your daily routines. Number 6, overconsumption of processed foods, the silent killer in your diet. Let's dive right into habit number 6, overconsumption of processed foods. It's easy to fall into the habit of eating ready-made meals, snack foods, or processed meat. After all, they're convenient, they taste good, and they don't require much effort to prepare. But what if I told you that processed foods are doing more than just adding a little extra salt and fat to your diet? Take a look at Linda, a 70-year-old grandmother from Texas. She loved her chips, canned soups, and pre-packaged dinners. They were quick, easy, and tasted great. But one day, Linda went for a routine doctor checkup. The results were alarming. Her cholesterol was high, her blood pressure was off the charts, and her doctor told her she was at serious risk for a heart attack. Linda was shocked. She couldn't understand why, at her age, this was happening. Her doctor explained that processed foods are often loaded with unhealthy fats, preservatives, and sugar, all of which can contribute to heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. But processed foods don't just harm your body. They also affect your mood and mental health. Research has shown that people who eat a lot of processed foods are more likely to experience symptoms of depression and anxiety. Repeat button tips to break the processed food habit. White heavy checkmark, cook fresh meals. Try make home-cooked meals using whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. White heavy checkmark, read food labels. When you do buy packaged food, read the labels carefully. Aim for products with fewer ingredients and avoid added sugars and unhealthy fats. White heavy checkmark, make small swaps. If you're craving something salty or crunchy, try swapping chips for nuts or air pop popcorn. White heavy checkmark, stay hydrated. Sometimes we crave processed foods out of dehydration. Drinking plenty of water can help reduce those cravings. Number 7. Ignoring mental health, the silent crisis for seniors. And now, the final harmful habit, ignoring your mental health. It's not uncommon for seniors to feel isolated, lonely, or like they're losing touch with the world around them. But here's the thing. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and ignoring it can have devastating consequences. Let me introduce you to Harold, a 72-year-old man from Florida. Harold had always been a social person. He loved gardening, attending church services, and spending time with his friends. But after his wife passed away a few years ago, Harold withdrew. He stopped attending social events, and his house became quieter. He kept telling himself that it was just a phase. He'd get over it. But Harold's loneliness soon turned into something far more serious. He began experiencing depression. He lost interest in activities he once loved. Even his physical health started to deteriorate. Without his usual social interactions, his mental and physical health spiraled. Harold wasn't alone. Many seniors go through this. According to research, depression among older adults is often undiagnosed and untreated. Seniors are at risk for mental health issues due to isolation, grief, or chronic illness. But mental health can improve with the right support, and it's never too late to ask for help. Repeat button tips for taking care of your mental health. White heavy checkmark, reach out to others. Make a habit of connecting with friends and family. Even a short phone call can boost your mood and reduce feelings of isolation. White heavy checkmark, seek professional help. If you're feeling depressed, anxious, or hopeless, don't hesitate to talk to a counselor or therapist. Therapy or counseling can work wonders. White heavy checkmark, engage in activities that make you feel good. Whether it's knitting, painting, walking in nature, or joining a book club, find something that sparks joy and keeps your mind engaged. White heavy checkmark, mindfulness and meditation. Practicing mindfulness or meditation can help you manage stress and improve your mental clarity. Start with just 5 minutes a day. You don't have to make drastic changes overnight. Start small. Every little step counts, and before you know it, you'll see a huge difference in your health, both mentally and physically. I hope this video inspired you to start making healthier choices today. Please share this with any friends or family who may need a reminder about how to take better care of themselves. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Health Reset for more tips on how to live your best life. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.